Yes, we are live. Do not adjust your social media channels. We are invading. Kind of like the way Zack Snyder is to Netflix. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to another edition of Geek Culture Congress Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, as always, Louis Speedy Jr. Gonzalez, accompanied by my good friend, actor and comedian extraordinaire. Check out the IMDb slit, Mr. Tarek Lewis. How you doing, sir?
I'm campaigning to be the fourth Marvel.
Yeah.
Lit.
I want to be
that might be
Marvels.
interesting. Yeah. That'd be interesting. I'm there. I'm there for that. That's cool. That's dope. Mr. DJ and social media influencer and all around great freaking person, Mr. Joey Franchise. How you doing?
Well, thank you. Well, thank you, man. It means a lot.
You're welcome. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Here, want to welcome everyone. If you're watching the replay of this, or you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, thank you so much for all your support and for making Geek Culture Congress one of the most listened to on the Beasley by B-Pod Studios platform. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, especially considering we're not a morning show at any of the Beasley Media Group show.
This is very true.
But we might be on the podcast radio. So if you are listening to podcast radio in one of our markets, welcome. This is Geek Culture Congress Podcast. I invite you to find the podcast and subscribe to it, and so you can listen to all our great content, a full version of our great content right there in the podcast feed. And welcome. We talk everything nerd, ladies and gentlemen. Marvel, DC, Star Wars, anime, comic books, video games, the whole shebang. There you go.
The
whole shebang. Yeah, that's the word I just made up right now.
Shebang.
Shebang. Yeah.
I love that.
Give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. I got crazy dog problems. Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. Big dog situation going on over there.
Mad Dachshund hot dog problems.
Flirt? Is that dog a flirkin?
It could be a different breed, not a flirkin per se, but it could be another kind of alien. But let's get into it.
What is the flirkin equivalent of a dog? That's what I'm curious about.
Oh, that's
if there is
interesting.
one.
I don't know if there is. I don't know if there is, ladies and gentlemen. I invite anyone who's here with us live in the chat. I see the chat is popping. Thank you so much for everyone who's checking in. I think they're on. Yeah, I think that's worth a look up. We'll look up the Marvel Wikipedia and see what we find. You know.
Yeah.
Shouts out to if you're watching this on the fan group. Give me a second to get in here and look at the content. Leo, what up, Leo? If you're watching this on the fan group on Facebook, I don't see the comments on the platform that we're broadcasting live. So just give me a moment before I respond back to you if you're watching it there. And you're always welcome to go to our live version where we're always live on YouTube at Speedy's Multiverse. And shouts out to everyone watching also on Franchise on Film. And, of course, on Mr. Tarek Lewis's social media channels as well. But let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. We had a very interesting Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, because it's TV, too. So is the MCU the wrong moniker for this, you know? Is it cinematic still, if it's still TV?
Yeah. I would say it's cinematic.
Okay. Fair enough.
If a movie on Netflix, it's still cinema.
Yeah. Okay.
You just don't view it in a theater.
Right. All right. Okay. Fair enough. So the MCU, ladies and gentlemen, we got the season finale of the Marvels. Great. Great
Loki
season finale. Loki. Oh no, sorry. I'm all confused. I'm all crisscrossed and totally crossed out.
They came out the same day.
Yeah, they did. They came out the
Yeah.
same day, so I'm completely confused. You got the season finale of Loki, ladies and gentlemen, and then we had the final release of the Marvels, the movie The Marvels, aka Captain Marvel 2, or Ms. Marvel, Part 1, continuation of Part 1. I don't know, and also WandaVision side quest. Whatever you want to call it, all right? But what's our take, ladies and gentlemen? Let's talk about Loki first. We finally are able to digest the whole season 2 and have a great opinion about the whole presentation of it. So I guess I'll get started. I enjoyed the whole season. I thought it was really great. Tom Hiddleston is awesome. I like when Marvel does these things with characters. It takes the character and kind of flips them at the end. It's kind of the same way, I in the same redeeming arc, like a Tony Stark, even. You know what I mean? And not necessarily a hero or villain is a difference, but it's just a character study, and it's interesting the whole journey of Loki, from when we first see him in the Marvels through everything that happens in the Thor movies to of course everything that happened in the first character variant death, to the Loki show, to it's just very intriguing, just very intriguing to watch the show, and I really appreciate that. And I'm glad it didn't have to really tie into much, except for, of course, the Kang stuff. It really didn't. It wasn't like any Vision didn't come out, or or didn't have no Captain America flashbacks or anything like that. It was just about Loki, and really, 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 really good. I mean, it's top tier Marvel show, definitely the best one. So, Tarek, if you want to start and tell me how you feel about Loki season 2.
Well, I was all with you until you said definitely the best one.
Okay, all right.
I was fully with you. I have to say, it's definitely one of the best finales I have heard, I've seen.
Yeah.
It's definitely been one of the best finales. I'm with you on are we going full spoiler territory here?
There you go.
Let's go. Yeah, we gotta go.
Our
Yeah.
customary spoiler warning, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna spoil.
All right.
We're gonna spoil everything. We're gonna spoil the Marvels. We're gonna spoil Loki, and probably a bunch of other stuff that we haven't decided to talk about yet. So, yeah.
Yeah. So Loki, the way the show ended, just the visual of Loki. This is why you have to call it cinematic.
Right.
The visual of how this series ended, assuming it's ending,
Right.
was amazing.
Yeah.
Just the way Loki is sitting there, the way they completed not just his character, but all the characters.
Right.
So well done. The last 3 episodes may have been some of the best episodes in the MCU episodic portions. It may have been some of those. It was. I know a lot of people were on and off about What If, but I like the way What If ended.
Me too.
Loki topped that. It's definitely a better ending than WandaVision. It was a great ending, and it was a great arc to that character. I was skeptical of the whole entire idea of Loki as a series, because it felt like you just had a great actor and a popular character that everyone did, and it was like, oh, let's just do the money grab situation. But the way they played it all out, and of course, as people into geek culture, the way they tied in a story arc that's kind of already in the comics with Loki, was brilliant. It was almost like a brilliant master plan. I don't know if that was the plan. I don't know if they just made some adjustments along the way, like we need a W. But I think it's definitely a win. I think it's definitely a win for
probably a little
Disney
bit of
Plus,
both.
please.
It's probably a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit of planned and a little bit of improvisation. Or fixing stuff on the fly. Mr. Joy Franchise, let us know how you feel about Loki season 2.
I'm right there with Tarek. I did not have Loki being, the best Marvel content of the new phase or phases that we've had recent. That wasn't what I expected. Actually, I never thought it would succeed to or gotten to where it's gotten right now, brand wise. I mean, they did the McDonald's branding when the season started. I just didn't expect a character like Loki, who I feel like you have to be a real, like, true fan of the Thor comics to really understand
Mm.
kind of his story arc. But man, Tom Hiddleston, that just goes to show how great of an actor he is. Just great writing, and they put the right team around him to help build this show. And it was honestly one of the most anticipated shows, not just for me, but I feel like probably for all of us. And it delivered, and I thought it was a very solid continuation of season one. Uh, they stuck the landing on it, and like, again, to what Tarek said, I mean, just it's still cinematic. Like, it still looked good. I feel like the quality of effects was on point.
Yeah.
Jonathan Majors, he was great as Victor Timely. We didn't get. I feel like they kind of downplayed Sylvie a little bit, but it was really a Loki show, and it really focused on him as opposed to where the first season kind of focused on the variants. You really got to see Tom Hiddleston thrive as Loki in this, and again, he delivered, and I'm not let down. I actually like it as is. I think this is now making room for him to possibly reunite with Thor or create some narrative that'll tie in maybe with Kang Dynasty, because of us seeing He Who Remains, kind of playing around with Loki. Pause.
Hmm.
Towards the end of the episode, you know what I mean? Like, where he's like, "Yo, you thought I was gonna let you kill me?" Like, when he said that, I was like, "Yo, He Who Remains, Kang, this dude, like, it's no joke." Like, the way they wrote that last episode, man, was chef's kiss.
Yeah.
And the way they finished it was amazing, and I can't wait to see what's next. And Tom Hiddleston even has came forward to say it'd be unwise of him, quote unquote, to say that Loki's done in the
Oh,
MCU.
definitely. I expect to see definitely more of Loki. Um.
So
Go ahead.
going tagging on to what Joey said,
Mm.
yeah, that's a great point. It was the first time I felt like Kang was a huge existential threat.
Yeah,
And he was just
Okay.
watching Loki go through the motions and was kind of like, "Yo, keep going." I was like, "Yo,"
Like, you're my
and
entertainment right now.
yeah, he that made him seem like such a bigger existential threat. Even more so, again, I think Kang was the highlight of Quantumania, which is not a bad film, but like we'll get to that comparison later when we talk about the Marvels. But it wasn't a bad film, but Kang was definitely the highlight. Jonathan Majors' performance, but Jonathan Majors coming back and being Victor Timely and playing He Who Remains again, it made it like that was a close to a Michael Fassbender Magneto performance for me. Just the fact that he like it just seems like okay, we got our villain now, which is great, and also bad. We'll talk about those rumors later,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
great
I got it ready.
because I think Loki was that. I think Loki was like this great villain that they had to keep trying to figure out how to use because Tom Hiddleston was so great, and Tom Hiddleston was still great. But the fact that he's the tree, he's the loom, it makes it so he can be back, and it doesn't look ridiculous and just like a money grab. Well done for the writers and showrunners on that. If they had showrunners, I don't know. I know some shows that
yo,
have showrunners,
We're assuming they at least have somebody right now. Or
right?
maybe just Kevin Feige's just the showrunner for everything. Period.
yeah, and yo, I gotta give it to again, what Tarek said. I mean, bro, like, you got some great casting. I
Mm.
thought that Ki Hui Kwan, Ouroboros Obi, in
Yeah,
the
Hmm.
series, I thought he stole the show. He stole a lot of scenes in certain episodes, and I thought he was a great cast in addition to the MCU. Curious to see where that character goes going forward, and I'm curious to know what's. I mean, and it loosely kind of set up the Deadpool 3 with the TVA,
yeah,
and you heard them kind of allude to them. There was a Kang situation in the eight one
The six
six
one six.
the
Six
six
one
one six
six. Hmm.
universe.
Hmm.
But it was interesting how they worded it, though. I think they said something where it's like a Kang like figure or something like that. I don't know
Right.
what kind of Easter egg that was for them to like describe that version of Kang like the way they did. I'm probably saying the word wrong, but um, again, I'm just excited to see what happens and where Loki's you know character arc kind of goes from here. I mean, now that he is, he controls all the universes, or is giving all the universes life by
Yeah.
sacrificing his, in a sense.
In a sense. Yeah.
And
So
it
definitely.
made it all come full circle because
Yeah.
leading up to the episode, there was a bunch of like promo going on the Loki Instagram page, and they were like showing old clips from the first Thor movie. But then you see like the glorious purpose, like line
Right.
was brought back, and
Mhm.
things like that. So it kind of made everything come full circle.
Yeah. I'm super happy with the show, man. I gotta get some applause. Yes.
Well
Here's a
done,
question
Marvel.
for you guys.
Finally,
Yes. Finally.
you did good.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want a Loki season 3?
I'm good on that.
Oh, I think we're good right now.
I think I'm good on that.
Yeah.
No, I think
I
it's fine
agree.
as is.
Yeah.
Don't but knowing hopefully Disney, but I'm glad that Disney's kind of like cut back on doing a lot of stuff and overdoing certain things. So
Mhm.
hopefully they stick to that plan when it comes to this. I know Loki's such a great success, but I think the rewatchability for me, I think there's a lot of rewatchability in the show. I would go back and watch the episodes all over again just to kind of refresh, because there's so much information to kind of gather, and it's cool. Like, it feels like a race against time kind of situation.
Mm.
Mhm.
It's just very fast paced, and man, I had to like run through a few like YouTubes of breakdowns of guys that can really like
Yeah, I did too. I did
break
heavy
I gotta get all
spoilers.
all
Yeah.
these different perspectives, because man,
Yeah.
it was a lot to take in.
Yeah, I checked out Heavy Spoilers breakdown. I checked out Den of Nerds, and then they brought some things up that I didn't even think about. You know?
Loki's kind of getting, and he didn't deserve this, but Loki's getting the Red Skull treatment, I think. Like, we
You
didn't
think
see
so?
Red Skull, and all of a sudden he was like, "Hey, I got the Soul Stone, and I got banished here, and I feel like there's gonna be some films, and it's gonna, like, we have to go through the center of time, and it's going to be Loki."
And I think that's maybe where him and Thor maybe reunite in Secret Wars.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There has to be a scene where they reunite at some point during one of the Avenger movies.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah.
Maybe.
I have a random question. It just crossed my mind.
Mm.
Do we see Wanda again? Do we see Scarlet Witch again? And
They said she's dead. So the book came out. There's a whole book on the MCU that came out recently, and it was actually pretty big news. But I think it kind of got lost in the sauce. I mean, it made a few headlines, but I think with the strike going on, not a lot of people were like talking about it too crazy
Okay.
within the Marvel like world, cinematic universe world, who are involved with that. But there's actually a book that actually got a cop that breaks down everything that's going on in the MCU, and in the book it talks about how the Mount Wonder Board just fell on top of her and she perished in the rubble. I guess that's what verbatim
Yeah,
what
but
the
there's
book said.
variants and there's
There's
nobody's
variants.
really
Yeah,
dead. Nobody's really
Yeah.
dead in comic books. They really rarely make it finite in
her
comic
her
books.
838 version is still alive too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I was gonna say, that version is definitely still alive.
Mm.
and that might
So-
be it, because I think she tarnished herself on the 616 universe. So she tainted that brand. No lunchboxes.
Yeah.
No lunchboxes
Yeah, I think
for
that's
her.
Yeah,
pretty
well,
much a wrap.
I'm sure there's some people in the 838 that are pretty pissed off at her right now.
Mm.
Yeah. Let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on to talk about the next Marvel tidbit that we got.
Hey, before we do that, I just want to make a request. Don't ever use that whatever accent that was that you said. Let's move on. Let's not use that anymore. I don't know what that was, Speedy.
No,
that was strange.
Did I have an accent? I don't know what happened. That might have been
You were there watching.
That would have been my split personality. Maybe took over.
You were there watching Patrick Swayze movies. You watching?
He was time flipping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. The Marvels. Yes. Reception from the critics. Man, when before I was gonna go see it, I watched some with the Den of Nerds guy. He went live, and he was playing people's out of theater reactions. And there was a lot. There was a lot of reactions that he played from YouTubers that were like, "Yo, this movie sucks. Like this movie is big trash. Like
Oof.
this movie, and and there were some people that are like, "Hey, this movie's cool. This movie's fun. It's okay." But nobody like nothing. Definitely like, "Oh, this is the best. The most exciting Marvel movie we've ever watched in our life." You know what I mean? Or best. Definitely none of that flavor as far as all the reactions. So. I was a little apprehensive to actually even go watch it. I was about to Morbius this movie. I was gonna be like, yeah.
Damn.
But then Sunday came around. And I was like, all right, we're kind of bored. We got a little bit of time. It's a short movie. Let's go pop in there and watch it. How bad could it be? Right?
Just for future reference, Petey, you have an obligation to the show to go see that damn movie.
That was also the reason why I went to go watch it.
You have an obligation to the show, unless you're on a cruise somewhere, to go see this movie.
That's also another reason why I went to watch it. I got to do it. Got to bite the bullet for the show and watch it. Be ready. Yeah. It has problems. It's not perfect by any means. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it in a way. Yeah, go ahead.
I gave it a 6.5 out of 10.
Okay. There's worse stuff in the world.
I could probably rewatch and move it up to a 7. I couldn't see moving it down.
Right.
A 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't suck. It didn't suck,
Yeah, but
it's still better than Dark World.
Some of those out of the theater reactions on YouTube were brutal. Like this movie is dog crap, like that.
I started looking at reviews, and that was probably a mistake, but I didn't read any of the full ones. So I noticed, I knew, based on our current socio-political climate, there's going to be some people to be like, oh, they're just trying to force
the MCU, right?
Yeah,
they're just going to try to force woke and strong women on us and whatever. I have to say emphatically, I did not feel that way watching this.
Me neither.
I didn't feel like it was a woke movie or that they were forcing heroines on us and women. Yeah. I didn't feel like that at all.
You know what it was like to me before I let Joey say? It was like a Saturday morning cartoon. A cool Saturday morning cartoon, like the villain of the week, the Block.
Block.
It's like the episode of the moment, the villain of the week. The good guys kind of won. Some weird stuff happened at the end. We'll see you next episode.
It's like when G.I. Joe would try to not stop them from making Serpentor or whatever. Okay.
But then something happened, and then the little thing for next week, or in a following episode, right? So Joey, tell us how you feel about the Marvels, man. You saw it actually before everybody.
Yeah, I got hyped to watch it. I think when the week leading up, when they dropped the trailer leading up when there's the dialogue where Rambo was like, she's talking about the another universe leaking into ours. So I was like, so we're gonna get an incursion in this movie. So then that's when my hype for the movie built up, and I got to see what the hell they're gonna do with this. I enjoyed it. I didn't feel like it was a forced woman empowerment movie, and to be frank, bro, I'm getting tired of people trashing, because here's the narrative. I think people think that all female led superhero cast doesn't work.
And just genre superhero led. Bro, Star Wars? Oh my god, bro! Don't even get me started about the Star Wars people, bro. There was stuff with that. This was it bothered me because either people just don't like Brie Larson for whatever reason. And I don't get it, because that's a real thing. Amongst, apparently, I guess, sweaties, that's a real thing. But
like a female-led superhero movie, there's a weird narrative that says, "Oh, it can't sell," or people just get weirded out when that happens. It's like, oh, it's like, for example, WNBA. It's just hard for people to accept
Yeah.
That's
that
true.
there's women out here that can actually hoop better than some of these guys,
Mm.
and they just refuse to watch it because I guess it's just belligerent to the fact that that's actually a thing, but
Right.
it's real. And now WNBA is starting to pick up, and hopefully these more female led movies that are not forced and just kind of keep the continuity going, and it just all makes sense, obviously, because I think what bothered a lot of people with a lot of Marvel movies, not just with the women based superheroes, but just storytelling in general. You're just forcing stories
Right.
on us that really don't really feed to the
To
the
narrative?
goal, the actual
Or the
goal,
goal.
yeah, to the narrative that
Story
we're
goal.
trying to reach.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I gave it a 7 just because the post credit scene I thought blew me away.
Yeah, you tried to ruin the post credit scene for me.
Because that's how excited I was after I saw it. But
I was literally chilling. He calls me, bro. Did you hear what the post credit scene was? Bro, don't tell me. I'm gonna go see it eventually this weekend. Don't tell me yet.
yo, I was dumb hyped when I saw it. So, but anyways, other than that, I enjoyed Maria Rambeau. I liked her character, Spectrum Photon. I don't know what she's going with yet.
Yeah.
But I thought Ms.
Melanie
Marvel,
Gal-
I
Iman
don't know. I can't say her name either.
Vellani.
Amani,
Oh,
yeah.
so I thought she was okay. Character, like, it felt annoying at times. I ain't gonna lie. The parents in space did not like.
It's not
But
perfect.
at the end of the day, yeah, it wasn't perfect. There was some stuff that I thought wasn't perfect, but she was the Spider-Man, but in space.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or cosmic. She was like the cosmic version of like the Peter Parker we saw in Civil War. I thought Brie Larson did a solid job. I wasn't mad at the movie. It was entertaining. It wasn't fantastic. It didn't blow me away, but I thought it was, again, you nailed it with the Saturday morning cartoons. It was a good, entertaining movie to watch, and I feel like it gained a lot, and I feel like it pushed the bigger MCU narrative for this phase and the upcoming phase, and it brought us closer to, okay, we're getting X-Men. Okay, we're getting Secret Wars. Like, it felt like the first time I felt that from a Marvel movie, and I think the fact that Marvels and Loki came out the same day. And then, like, for me, I saw Marvels in theaters, came home, 9 o'clock came, I was on Loki, and it helped, like, kind of, it wasn't connected, but it helped, like, kind of bridge, everything together. And
Show the
this is where
direction.
we're going
The
with
direction.
the multiverse saga. Yes. So, but yeah, I gave it a 7. I thought it was a solid movie. I would watch it again. I'd give it probably one more watch. If it's on, I'm gonna leave it on.
Yeah, if it's on the background, I wouldn't shut it off.
I would definitely watch it again. You know what
It's
I
better
did?
than Quantumania. It was better than Quantumania to me.
I don't dislike Quantumania, but
So-
there's another movie that's not perfect and has its problems too.
So that's where it gets. When I left the theater, I was like, I don't know if this is better than Quantumania. I feel like I was more upset in Quantumania than I was never mad. I was never like bothered in the Marvels, but I was bothered at times in Quantumania. Like, okay, like, I love Bill Murray, but I'm like, okay, they're just dragging this. They're making this movie longer. Like, some of this stuff is like unnecessary. Bring me Kang and bring me in. Like, some of this stuff is unnecessary.
Right.
I didn't feel like that. Besides the parents in the Marvels, I didn't feel like
This movie's short and sweet. It's like an
It's
hour
short and
40.
sweet. It was cool, and I
Bada bing,
gotta
bada
give it.
boom.
I got to give it to, what was it, Nia DaCosta? Is that's the director's name?
Nia
It's her
DaCosta,
first time doing a big movie like this on this scale, and I don't think she disappointed, bro. Like, I think she did a solid job, and I would like to see her, take helm of something else later on. She's a young director coming up, and she got the opportunity to do this, and I thought the effects were good. I wasn't let down. I didn't go in here with high expectations either, but it's like, and I like the fact that they waited. But here's the thing too, what might have hurt the promo for the movie is the fact that, like, dog, it was hard to really, for these guys to go out there and promote with the strike, and then the strike is over when the movie comes out.
right?
And I mean, let's just be real, guys. Captain Marvel, whatever Monica Rambeau calls herself, is gonna call herself as a code name, and Miss Marvel are just not top tier, like solid, even solid C superheroes. That's why they're all three of them are in one movie. You know?
It's not that they're not that
Yeah,
popular.
yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
There's been 3 Captain Marvels. You know what I mean? Like there's been 3 Captain Marvels, and not that's only in Marvel. Like it's not including Shazam, who's Captain Marvel over there. You know, and I would argue that we know as comic book people that Rogue is more popular than Captain Marvel. Like prior to the films, the character of Rogue is more popular than Captain Marvel.
Well, it's funny you say that because it's like, you know, the binary, like Phoenix is a huge character, and before they did Phoenix in the X-Men comics, and we're gonna go into like post-credit spoiler territory right now because you know, Monica Rambeau falls into the reality that Dar-Ben opened up when she had both Bengals. So, and they confirmed that those Bengals are the quasi bands and the mega bands from the comics. So when she hit both of them, when she hit both of those together, that's when it opened up a whole new universe.
Right.
But when she had that one Bengal that she found on the moon in the beginning of the movie, like it can open up only to where like she was trying to designate whatever resources she was trying to steal from other planets. So that's why and when she was opening those portals, it would create in these like wacky like portals. So it was like kind of ruining everything. So hence why,
a half done portal because it was only one bangle.
So now with the 2 portals, she 2 portals. When she has the 2 bands, she opens up that portal into a whole nother universe. Monica falls in it. Post credit pops up. She wakes up to her mom, but in this universe, it's a whole nother universe, and she's actually in the X-Men mansion with Beast and the binary version of Captain Marvel. And binary in the comics was used to because they didn't have a Phoenix yet in X-Men, so that's how that Captain Marvel kind of crossed over into the X-Men comics.
Before we get into that, which we have to talk about that extensively, I was a little confused on one thing. Miss Marvel, is able to easily control both? Where the character Dar-Ben seemed like it overpowered her, and they were kind of like, okay, you got to use the power again. And I was kind of confused, like, well, why is it not bothering her?
It seemed like some scenes were cut.
I know why. You know, I mean? This is why, because Ms. Marvel has the X gene, bro. She's she's a mutant.
Yeah, she's a mutant.
That's what I thought too.
And the band activated like her powers.
Yeah. Okay. And I guess she's just super. I guess she's even more powerful when she has the bangle on.
It can help her control it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was thinking the same thing, and I was like, I don't want to take too much of a leap on this. I'll wait till the show to ask because it must be because she's a mutant, you know. Okay. And another thing I will say, a criticism. Oh man, I love Samuel L. Jackson.
But
it seems like he was just, you know, like he's here for some one-liners and
he got watered. He got watered down.
He's watered down, and it's too many one-liners, and the whole idea of the family being in space.
I didn't like that.
I didn't like that at all. I would say that the Marvels is a victim of the previous success of other things, and you have to keep it going. So you do these characters, but if we look back, what we like about the earliest Marvel films is that they grounded the characters. Like Thor is not just magic. It's like, no, he's like, no, we're from Asgard, and what you think is science, like what you think is magic, it's just science to us. But I do have an enchanted hammer, you know, and like that controls this thing. But like, you know, yeah, there is some magic, but like it's just science. And Iron Man is, you know, in the comic books, Iron Man had to keep plugging in that damn battery. He was so whack. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they grounded it and made it cool. You know, Captain America was not, for most people, it wasn't a cool character to be Captain America. Like, no one wanted to be Captain America growing up. We always like Spider-Man, you know. It's like Captain America had the big, you know, he had on hooker boots. Back in the day, you know. And
Technically, there's only one star on the Captain America suit. Technically, he's Captain Puerto Rico.
he's absolutely Captain Puerto Rico. He should be Captain Boricua. You know what I mean? And the shield made him a fungo. Uh, but so they made a lot of those characters cool by grounding them in reality. And by the time you get to these characters, there's no more grounding in reality. You have to like expand. So they're kind of suffering from that because we're not getting to grow with Captain Marvel or Miss Marvel. They have to step up and be there now because they don't have time to grow. So
yeah,
suffering from that, the lack of long-term development. But that being considered, I think it was still a decent film.
Yeah. For me, it had to be the parents in space and the singing and dancing planet. One thing about me, I hate musicals, or not musicals, but I hate like the
musical numbers.
The musical numbers. Yes, I hate musical numbers and dances, and that's. But I know that's from the comics, though. That actually was a thing.
I would have been okay
That's how
with
they communicated.
if they would have doubled down and made it make sense. Like, understand the song. Like, kind of like WandaVision's songs, like like it was a hit. Like it was downloaded like number one on iTunes for a while on Apple Music.
Yeah, I know we're supposed to be trying to be a little more clean, but I'm going to tell you this right now. That was absolutely fucking terrible. That was terrible. And you knew it was terrible by how fast they went away from it. When the prince shows up, and she starts talking to him.
Oh,
and
he's bilingual.
Like, he doesn't have to speak that way. They knew that was
he's
going
bilingual.
to be
Yeah, they knew it was going to be annoying. They said he was like bilingual or something.
Yeah. Another thing I'll say about the Marvels, if you want to critique, this is nitpicking here. Visually, very similar to Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
A little bit.
Like the way the ships are and traveling from planet to planet and the different cultures. Like very, very similar to Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Bro. And it's missing a strong villain. The villain wasn't strong. The High Evolutionary was a great villain.
Yeah.
The villain wasn't strong. Didn't have strong motivations. It was just weird.
It was literally like the villain from, what's the name? The other Kree? Ronan?
Hey, Ronan
was better than that,
it was a female version of Ronan.
That was his hammer, by the way, too.
I guess let's make another Kree character kind of like Ronan and use that.
Yeah. The hammer she got in the movie was his.
Oh yeah,
was his hammer.
That makes sense.
And Captain Marvel is also way too overpowered.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But I think what they did a good job though, like of how because the one thing I was curious about was how they were gonna, because their powers are intertwined. So it's like, how are they gonna make that work when they have to use it? But it was crazy because it's like, I think because there was at times where they would use the power and they wouldn't switch. But I think they have to.
I guess it's a certain frequency or certain part of light.
If they use it at the same time,
they
couldn't use their powers at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
So if they use it at the same time, that's when they switched. But if they didn't, then it was good money. But I thought it was dope. The fight sequence was really cool. When they're all like swapping places and stuff like that, and
I had no problem with the fighting and the choreography, and that was actually pretty good. Every even on the singing planet, like everything was intriguing.
Listen, it's hard to write a story like that. Trust me, I'm writing one. Them damn cats, man. The cats.
Kittens. Yeah, the cats.
I did not like that. I mean, I get it, but I was like, yo.
I thought it was funny.
It was I
thought it was kind of weird.
Yeah, they tried to use it as a comedy device.
Yeah, it was too big of a comedy device.
Yeah,
bro. Now I'm curious to know what it's like.
I was okay with it.
I'm curious to know what it looks like inside of a Flurkin's stomach if they can fit all them people in it.
It was like another like pocket universe.
Little pocket universe in them. Yeah. That's where Asgard is. Asgard is inside Flurkin's stomach.
Oh my god, that's crazy. But what was your reactions when y'all saw Beast on the thing? Like we got our first X-Men appearance in the MCU.
Man. Yo, I have to say.
The whole theater was like, oh yeah, oh my god, they're gonna do that.
I don't know how many we've had X-Men last scan. We've had all the previous First Class, Apocalypse,
Yeah,
Days of
we've had
Future
a bunch
Past,
of
and
X-Men backstory already.
Dark
A
Phoenix.
bunch.
This was the best the Beast has looked. This is the best the Beast has looked
Yeah.
out of
I think
all
he
these
was
films.
full CGI though.
I think he was
Fine.
full on. I think he's cartoon X-Men 97 Beast too. The jacket and
Yes.
everything, bro. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
He
the
looks great.
Captain Marvel and Maria Rambeau's Captain Marvel costume is out the comics too with the double
Yeah, with
stars,
the
binary.
binary.
Yeah.
The binary level.
That catapults the movie up.
That's what
Which I think
that's what moved to a 7. I had it at a 6 and it moved up to a 7 off of that.
yeah, that catapulted that movie up. I was like, oh shit, like it like I don't know, it chills a little bit. It kind of low key chills. Now X-Men is my favorite. That's what got me into. I mean, I read Spider-Man, of course, but X-Men was like, okay, I'm rocking. I'm going to the comic book store to look for these comic books. So yeah, that was amazing. That's one of the best.
That's the best post-credit scene we've gotten in a long time.
It's been a while since we had something that good. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Quantumania one was good too, but this one was fire because it's like we expected the Kang stuff to happen. We already that was already written in stone. But to get Beast, I did not see that coming from a Captain Marvel movie. And I love that about it is the fact that happened, and then now that kind of sets up X-Men, and maybe that's like a Deadpool thing, or maybe that's Deadpool's
And let me
universe.
tell you, the X-Men stuff we're gonna get is all the cosmic stuff. We're gonna get the Shi'ar, we're gonna get the Brood, we're gonna get all that stuff because why not?
Which is good, but also a shame because I think that's where the Dark Phoenix. I actually liked Dark Phoenix.
Yeah,
but I was like, yo, you're just throwing us in space all of a sudden.
Yeah.
What happened to all of a sudden? Dark Phoenix would have made much more sense if if all this stuff was integrated.
If it was integrated and taking us there.
But it is what it is.
That was Fox's fault.
Yeah, they're going back to fix mistakes. But yeah, I was hyped. I was hyped on that one. That was dope. That's exciting. Yeah. It makes me very excited for Secret Wars.
There you go.
Yes. Absolutely.
Definitely. I think that's a great consensus on the show. Definitely. We're all excited for everything else.
How did you feel about the end credit scene? Well, that was the mid credits, I guess.
With the Young Avengers one.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I did see that one.
I thought it was again a little cheesy, but I get it. It's Young Avengers. I mean, right now, I think she mentioned when she gets Kate Bishop. I think she mentions Cassie Lang also, right?
Yeah.
Like Ant-Man has a daughter or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's cool that they got her in it because I mean, obviously she's the most excited, character to be an Avenger or be part of the, Marvels or MCU. Because she's actually in real life, the actress Iman is a huge Marvel sweaty too. So it's cool that they got her to do that, and it's kind of weird because they did the whole Nick Fury play from the first Iron Man movie, and it's crazy because it's kind of in a sense kind of meta where it's like, oh well, how did she know that Nick Fury did the exact same thing and kind of gave the exact same dialogue to Iron Man that she's giving to Kate Bishop?
Yeah, it's definitely on purpose.
But that's cool. I think that's Young Avengers stuff is probably just gonna do. It's probably gonna maybe set up a Disney Plus series. I would assume so. So I don't know if I see that being in theaters.
Yeah.
Question or sweaty question, I guess. Why was it Saber and not Sword?
There was.
I don't know.
I think
it just did a change up.
Yeah, I saw somebody
Sword.
say
They did
about
use Sword. Sword was the organization that was in WandaVision.
WandaVision,
yes.
and then boy he used Sword to activate White Vision.
Right. So I guess Saber is kind of maybe a shield.
Is replacing Shield.
Yeah. So I think Saber is like a combination of Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
Of both organizations. I think that was just a cute way of them.
And where does Secret Invasion fit in this?
Okay, so that's my major number one problem with this movie, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, all right. This movie completely destroys everything we saw in Secret Invasion. Okay, first off, I'm not even sure if I guess the Marvel supposed to come out first before Secret Invasion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
No.
know.
No?
No.
All
I
right.
don't think so, right? I didn't think so.
Because I don't know. It seems like Samuel L. Jackson seemed like he was more injured and sore when leaving Secret Invasion, that last episode, versus how he looks in this. Like he looks completely refreshed, like he took a elixir or something, like he drank a Red Bull or something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like just like that, the presentation of the character, he didn't seem like he was like so tired and beat up like he did in Secret Invasion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You
yeah, I
know,
could say probably the last episode of Secret Invasion, he probably, he got back his mojo back a bit, but still, it wasn't quite there 100% in that portrayal.
Yeah. I have to be honest. I was one of the people. I like Hawkeye. Hawkeye may be my favorite MCU series.
I like that
I'm
show
not saying
too.
it's the best.
It's not, but I like it.
Yeah, but there was never an episode of Hawkeye that I didn't enjoy. Put it that way.
That's true.
Fair
I
enough.
like
Loki are up there. Like as far as like the complete series, Loki is very, very, very high now. But
yeah.
I
Definitely.
just enjoyed Hawkeye. And Hawkeye, and I liked Kate Bishop as Hawkeye.
I do too, and I like the fact that her story collides with the Avengers and ties into the MCU because she was there when the attack on New York
Battle of New
happened.
York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I
But
thought
I
that
do
was cool how they
understand
wrote that.
I am gonna go full Joe Rogan male on this one. They need some male superheroes for the Young Avengers.
Yeah,
Because-
Some
they
testosterone.
went three. They
Some
went three.
testosterone,
They got
please.
three. They got three female ones, which is cool. But like, we gotta find some balance. We gotta put that whole thing together.
Yeah,
But no,
wait.
there's Scar. Scar was introduced in She-Hulk.
Yeah, so I saw an article on Variety where they were like, they'll have Scar. It'll be Wiccan and Speed, possibly.
And they're gonna get introduced in the Covenant of Chaos, not Covenant of Chaos. Whatever the Angela Harkness show is called now,
Angela
Yeah.
Harkness, yeah.
because Wiccan and Speed will be introduced in that.
I think they were alluding to. I don't know. I don't know what else they do.
Maybe
I think
I
Wiccan and
wouldn't even
Speed, of
put-
course, is one is magic. And
I wouldn't
the other
even
one's
put Peter.
fast.
I wouldn't put Peter Parker in there, but hopefully, like when I think they're gonna wait for a Miles Morales
Yeah.
Maybe.
to kind of.
They were
Show that.
saying. I saw that they said that the Patriot, who is the
Oh
Patriot be
yes,
good.
son
Um,
of
He was in
He was
Falcon and
Falcon
Winter
and
so he's a
Soldier.
little older, but I thought that was a hilarious line to me when she was like, "Oh, you're young, you're a teenager," and she's like, "I'm 23."
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. But yeah, I don't know. Like Young Avengers, probably T'Challa's son, who's the new T'Challa. Maybe though.
No,
yeah.
I don't-
There's a bunch.
yeah.
There's a bunch of weird things they could do.
No, but I think they're gonna age him up fast though
Yeah,
to be T'Challa to get that back.
Mm.
But yo, to go back to what you were saying, Speedy, with the
Secret Adventure.
with the
Oh yeah,
Secret-
Secret Invasion. I mean,
Tarnax.
yeah, that's the whole
that-
thing. That's the whole thing. The whole plot of Secret Invasion is, sorry, we can't help you guys. We don't got nowhere else to send you. And there's literally a whole planet out there
Yeah.
that Captain Marvel knows about
It was
that
on the
they
whole
could
film,
go
guys.
to. With
And then they put
more
him-
scrolls at.
And then they
A
put him
whole
on.
planet.
They put him on Asgard. Valkyrie comes, picks
Yeah.
him up, brings him back to Earth.
Why? Well, I know I get it. Okay, so that would have that might have been this movie. I would accept this movie, I guess, being before Secret Invasion, but we didn't
Would
get
have
it
to,
served to
right?
us like that. We didn't get it served
Yeah,
to
they
us
didn't
like
get
that.
served to this
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
because he went back at the end of Secret Invasion. He went back to space to settle what again? Not the war.
no, he
I don't
talked
know.
about the peace treaty thing.
Yeah, the
Remember?
peace treaty. Yeah.
He was talking about what was going to happen in this one. And I guess that's what they were talking. That's what it was. It was the scrolls and the Kree, and he was trying to broker that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was messy.
Yeah, it was messy.
Yeah,
It's
that's
messy.
timeline.
It's messy, and then it
Timeline
doesn't
is
make no
messy,
sense
yeah.
about what they were talking about in Secret Invasion. Just literally
Yeah.
a whole refugee, or even more. The guy said, "Oh, we're spread across the whole galaxy." And that means there's more refugee planets that you're at.
Yeah.
Come
And
on, man.
and this is what it is. Monica was it Monica Rambeau or is it Maria? Monica
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, you got to fly. Oh, you use your power to fly into the sun and recharge it." She's like, "Oh, I never thought of that.
Wait, what? Wait, what? I could do what?
I never thought
Like,
about it."
yeah.
I never
In
thought
the-
about that.
In the 28 years that I've been flying around, I never thought to just fly
Running-
back into the sun.
Well,
lighting
I
myself
guess
up
her
and
superpower is that
rushing
she's
through
super
spaceships.
smart scientist. So that's her superpower,
Yeah.
I guess, too.
Captain Marvel's her weakness is ignorance.
Maybe she just don't not scientifically smart. You know?
Yeah, I thought that was strange. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was gonna get into some Marvel news because now that the strike is over. But go ahead, finish
I
your
was
thought.
going to say this one thing. I think Kamala Khan as Miss Marvel is great comic relief. She's great comic relief. It's almost like she's powerful or whatever. It's almost like having the Ant-Man character. And I hope they don't try to overdo the comedy because of Thor. I think they've been overdoing the comedy because of how successful Thor Ragnarok was.
Right.
And they're overdoing it. And that's what I thought happened in this film. Like, okay, you're overdoing the comedy.
Yeah.
But she's great comic relief.
That probably comes from a corporate side. Like, oh, man, we got to do this. Thor was so big for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's just like cute, funny. It's like watching Punky Brewster with superpowers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like,
There you go. You hit it on the head.
Yeah, so
Punky
I
Brewster
like
might
that.
be a deep cut for some people who are some younger people.
Before
Like,
their time.
I don't think Joey gets that because of Punky Brewster.
I mean, I know of Punky Brewster.
Yeah,
I
see?
never watched
Yeah,
Punky Brewster.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I thought her fighting scenes were dope too. I like the beginning fighting scene when she's on the spaceship protecting Nick Fury. She was solid. She was smooth with it. The choreography, fight
How'd
choreography.
she learn how to fight so good?
I mean, she watched enough YouTube.
I guess you assume she's been using it for a long time.
I guess.
And in the show, she had a lot of training sessions.
Yeah, she was trying to learn her own stuff. Yeah, I guess so.
The one thing I thought was really dumb was use the scarf. That shit was dumb. That was dumb.
But she does that in the comics.
That comes
too.
from the comic book, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a secondary weapon. Yeah. She actually
Yeah,
gets
well,
it
that's
from
whack.
she gets it from a planet too. If I remember.
Yeah,
right.
it's from a different planet.
Yeah. It's not the same planet as in the movie, but she does get it in space, an extra weapon. I forget why.
One more thing before we go. I know Joey, you got the information, but when they keep in all these shows, because I don't think we're only getting one project next year.
Yeah, Deadpool 3,
that's
which
it.
is fine by
Deadpool
me,
3.
honestly.
I'm down with that.
I'm with you on that.
Dog, you think about it, it's like that's
It's gonna
like
kill.
a few months
It's gonna
away.
murder. It's gonna murder. It's gonna be the biggest thing since
like it's a little ways away, but it's like
sliced bread.
it's not that far. If you think about
they
it.
keep referring to the Avengers, and I've always went through all these shows. I'm like, who are the Avengers? Like they keep saying, "Oh, am I trying out for the Avengers? Am I going to do?" Are there?
No, there's no
there's
Avengers.
no
Not
Avengers.
really.
Like,
Not yet.
who are the Avengers? Like, what are
That's
they referring?
That's
to?
what they're gonna figure out in from what I'm hearing, that's what they're gonna figure out in Captain America: New World Order.
Okay.
That sets up the team build. That's gonna be the team build. But Deadpool 3 is like 8 months away, dog. Like,
Yeah.
And when is Armor Wars? Is Armor Wars
Armor
before
Wars,
that or
no, 2026. So I'm looking
Wow.
on Twitter. It was announced, I think, 2 days ago that they're gonna drop it on February 13th, 2026.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was going to be a TV show. That's not going to be a movie.
We're still going there. We're still going there.
I think because like the writing for it or the concept for it was big, and obviously you got all those Iron Man suits, so you're gonna need a lot of, it's gonna need a bigger budget effects wise.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it's gonna be a movie as opposed to a Disney Plus show. But on the little one wants to get on.
Before you get into that, I wanna do
look at that.
this, Joey. Hold on. Before you get into that, I want to get into this. And here we go. Oh, let's see. My computer's freaking out. All right. It is being reported that the MCU is now backing away from Jonathan Majors' Kang. Okay. The lady who wrote that awesome book that we're talking about earlier.
Yeah.
She was on another podcast, House of R. Ringer podcast. Let's see, maybe we just not have guests. We need to get the right guest on so we could be trending. She cautions that this should be who cautions that this should be taken with a large amount of salt, I guess, and is currently unverifiable. Marvel may have removed Quantum Mania writer Jeff Loveness from Avengers: The Kang Dynasty because they're reportedly moving away from Kang altogether.
I don't know, man. I think that's a pump fake. I think that's a pump fake just to show that, like, I don't know, just in case because he got brought back. That you understand, that story comes out after, like, his trial, like, things are getting a little bit thicker in the trial that he got going on.
Yeah.
So
It's
I think
getting a little sticky.
Yeah, just in case things don't play out the way like we think it is, because there's reports saying that there's footage of the girl being out and about after the incident happened, and there's marks on him, and it's just all these stories flying around. And I think Marvel's just preparing themselves for the worst. So we'll just throw this story out there, but then, like, if, let's say, the Jonathan Majors situation, he ends up being not guilty in the matter, like, okay, we can get back to the regularly scheduled program, because he was, like, a really good, Kang. Like, he was a good villain.
Also, but they might be
and we don't condone violence towards women at all, or any shape or form on this show whatsoever. Right. So just a heads up, we're not, like, out here trying to side with Jonathan Majors or whatnot.
Right. But also, going back to Quantum Mania, I mean, technically, it didn't do so well. You know what I mean? There wasn't they liked his portrayal of Kang, but I mean, like, it's nobody's really talking about Kang. You know what I mean? Not in the way that, like, people were talking about Thanos. I mean, it's probably not. Probably not coming out to be the guy. To be the character.
I think Thanos was a bigger threat even in the comic books. He's constantly used. Kang has not been on a Marvel versus Capcom yet.
It's true.
I've seen that one Kang. Yeah. We haven't had Onslaught and Apocalypse on Marvel versus Capcom. Omega Red. We have not seen Kang. We've seen Dr. Doom.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? That's a sexier villain, sexier big bad.
I think this is a case of them being disappointed with Quantum Mania and Jonathan Majors' situation, and the clear excitement over the idea of Secret Wars and whatever was done with Deadpool 3, which some of the rumors, I'm sure Joey will get into, is that this is going to be like Deadpool has messed with the timeline, which we've seen in previous films. And I think that it may be a move from doing Kang to be like, okay, we're going to do the Beyonder and now bring all these other things in, and Doom will be our, our villain.
Because they kind of, like, wrapped it up with a bow with that last episode of Kang, or, of Loki, I'm sorry, about Kang, we're watching his variants, but there was a pop-up in 616, but it seems like the heroes handled it there. You know what I mean?
We've gotten a lot more of Kang early than we did get of Thanos.
That's true. Because literally,
we didn't really see Thanos do anything until Infinity War and Endgame.
That's right.
We had end credit scenes where he's like, I'll do it myself, and like him guiding Loki. But we didn't see him do anything. We only saw him do something for 2 movies.
It's true.
And we're getting a lot of all these variants. We're getting a lot of Kang.
Yeah.
So it's hard to, like, make him the person,
right?
Especially if you don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that goes back.
Even it's a good idea to bring in the Beyonder and Watu the Watcher and bring these universes together. Look how excited we are just about seeing Beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's as
Like, don't
character
show me
development too.
Beast
It's
and then do a whole Kang
yeah.
thing. I don't want to see that.
It's character development too. They literally had little time for Thanos' character development, but they got it in, got it done. We understood the villain's motives
And they
and
took their
his
time with it.
motivations, and bada bing, bada boom. Now
Yeah,
we're on to the
They,
action.
they
You know?
took their time with it. And like you said, with the tying of the bow on the maybe the Kang character, maybe
Hmm.
this news can be accurate. Because I mean, you think about it, like at the end of the Loki episode, I mean, you see the Victor Timely younger version. He doesn't get the TVA booklet.
Right.
So what does that mean?
right.
So it's like, does Victor Timely not become Kang or figure out how to create the loom? Which you know what I'm saying? Who knows? So
Knows.
maybe they put they might have wrapped it up the Kang story with that, or they could use that as a way to wrap up the story, just to kind of prepare for whatever situation happens with Jonathan Majors' legal
Right.
issues.
Right.
Listen,
But,
I think most of us would be okay if Loki is preventing Kang from ever coming into existence.
but I want to see. I honestly
Yeah.
like whether it's Jonathan Majors or not. Like I want to see a version of what they started, or what that post credit scene was going to lead to
Yeah.
after Quantum Mania. Like I think I thought that was an epic nod to the comics, with that end credit
that
scene
was.
and a nice setup of all the Kangs coming together and really creating, the Kang dynasty, building that hype.
Yeah.
So
Hi,
It'd be
Sophie.
interesting. An interesting spin would be if Kang is the Beyonder.
I think that they might do that. They might do Beyond.
Yeah.
Beyonder's a hard explanation to. The comic book is fun to create crazy characters that are wild like that, but
Yeah.
to do that in live action, and for a general audience, that's a little difficult. I think maybe doing
Yeah.
a Kang Beyonder mash, that'll make a little
Yeah.
bit more sense. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
All right, Joey, give us the info.
Yeah.
Give us the
With
scoops.
the scoops.
All right. Well, we all saw the. Did you all see the Echo? Before I do the scoop stuff, did we all see Echo trailer and how do we
Yeah.
feel about it?
I did.
Yeah,
Yes.
I like it.
Looks very solid. Daredevil's suit is back to being
He
normal.
does. Yeah.
Like that's always a plus.
Yeah.
I like Kingpin in this also. Looks like there's gonna be a lot of bloodshed, so
Mhm.
it's gonna be good. But anyways, moving forward, Blade officially gonna be rated R,
Yeah.
so that's always good. Apparently the ending of Blade will set up the Midnight Suns project
Yeah.
that Marvel has planned, so that should be interesting. Eternals, who died in the first film, are coming back for the second, including Icarus, who ran into the sun at the end. Remember?
Right.
Yeah.
I just mentioned
I
Armor.
thought about that as Captain Marvel flew into the sun. I was like, well, she's stronger than Icarus.
That's
Icarus
hilarious.
got burned up.
Facts.
them Eternals got put on the shelf, boy. I tell you that.
We also got. I mentioned Armor Wars is scheduled for a February 13th, 2026 release. The first trailer for Madam Web. Yes, some Sony. Sony. What do you call it? Sony Universe.
Sonyverse.
Sonyverse, the Sonyverse?
Yeah,
Sony
I feel like there was
Spider-Verse.
I feel like there was an
The
acronym
Sony
for it.
Spider-Verse.
So yeah, the Madam Web trailer is gonna come out next week. I think they dropped the a poster for it with like the and apparently the trailer's gonna be
the other
2
Spider
minutes.
Woman too.
2 minutes and 24 seconds long. The trailer will
I
be.
think they're gonna do the Jennifer Carpenter Spider Woman. Some of the other different Spider Woman in that one.
We also got what else do we got? Going down my list. Filming for Thunderbolts, Blade, and Wonder Man is set for January 24. And
They're
I
still
think
doing Wonder Man, really?
yeah, Wonder Man's still happening.
I like that actor
here we
too,
go.
but man, I don't know.
Fantastic
I do like that.
Four. Fantastic. I actually like the actor that's going to be Wonder Man too. He was
Mhm.
Black Manta and
Yes, Black Manta.
and he was in Candyman.
Yeah,
Awesome.
he ended up being in the Watchmen series.
Yeah,
he was,
that's
he was in
right.
the TV show.
Yeah.
All right, so Fantastic Four news. It's going to be set in a universe where the Fantastic Four are the only heroes on Earth. Galactus and Frankie Ray are the main villains. Silver Surfer is going to be in the movie, and the movie ties into Avengers Secret War. We kind of figured that, and the TVA will appear in the Fantastic Four.
Really interesting.
Yes. Captain America: Brave New World. The island with the adamantium is called Sentinel Island. Many countries try to get resources from the island, and President Ross is trying to make a deal to keep peace so that everyone could get a piece, I guess. Yeah, could get.
And is Harrison Ford going to be Ross? Because William Hurt passed away.
Yeah,
I believe.
Yeah, I think.
What was that?
Is Harrison Ford going to be?
Yeah, he's Thunderbolt Ross. Harrison Ford is here.
Okay, he's going to. Okay.
The first episode of Agatha Darkhold Stories or Diaries is going to show Agnes and her life in Westview 2 years after the events of WandaVision. At the end of the first episode, Agnes returns to being Agatha, thanks to Blin. Vertigo, the leader of the Salem's Seven, is the main villain, and she can transform into a white fox. Rio Vidal, played by Aubrey Plaza, is the most powerful character in the MCU. That's the rumor. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I'm a big Aubrey Plaza fan. Like,
Me too. I like Aubrey a lot. Yeah, she's dope.
Yeah.
And I think that's all I got.
All right.
And I think the cast for it might be a rumor, but maybe the cast for Fantastic Four comes out on Friday.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting. We'll see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're about 6, 7, 10 minutes too long on this show.
No, I'm going to say this one thing. The Avatar: The Last Airbender trailer looks really good.
The Netflix show.
It looks good.
The Netflix show, right?
Yes.
It looks
Yeah.
good.
Looks really good. Rebel Moon looks good.
Rebel Moon looks good. The official trailer dropped. That's available right now on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. Go check it out. Looks pretty dope. It's my kind of sci-fi. I'm here for it. Invincible.
It's been rocking. It's been dope.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet. I still got to. I got to finish.
I'm about to
Gen
dive
V.
I gotta dive into all that stuff, all the Amazon stuff.
Yeah, I need y'all to dive into Gen. We got to talk about Gen V.
All right.
Yeah, Gen V is really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm behind. I'm behind the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, and I know Joey already reviewed it, but I'm currently watching Freddy's. What is it called? Freddy's.
Oh, Friday Night at Freddy's.
Joey's
Friday Nights at Freddy's.
Joey's reviews on fire on the podcast on the audio
Word.
podcast. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of that.
And-
I'll be finishing that when we hang up.
Yeah, it was okay. It was
And the
cute.
joint is streaming, so
Yeah, no, it's moving.
Yeah.
I will give it. Oh boy, Josh Hutcherson, who was in Hunger Games. He's the star of this movie. I thought he did a really good job, like performance wise.
Yeah.
So he made it worthwhile for me. I'm not a huge fan of the. I never played the game, but I think he did a really good job performance wise for sure. Yeah.
Cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's it for today's show. Go ahead and let's plug everything we got going on, Mr. Tarek Lewis. Go ahead and plug everything you got going on.
My name is Tarek at Instagram.com, and also a YouTube. And if you will, please look out for my comedy shows. I'm back to doing stand up. I did a show in Gainesville this week. I probably have one in St. Pete in a couple of weeks.
How'd the show go?
I will let you know.
How'd the show
go?
go?
It was good. It was very good.
Great.
We did a show for the veterans.
Nice.
Good show, man. So hopefully we'll be doing a few more.
Excellent.
And check me out on Outer Banks also.
Oh yeah.
Now we can
Yeah, promote all your stuff.
Look at
All your
that.
stuff that you're gonna be able to promote.
Watch Outer Banks.
Let it out. Say it loud. Say it proud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On Outer Banks, what episode?
I'm on episode 7.
Episode 7, Outer Banks, ladies and gentlemen. There you go.
Yeah.
And
Of
then,
season 2.
and then of course, Tarek's got a good body of work. So go check out the IMDb. All right, Mr. Tarek Lewis. My name is Tarek. This Joy Franchise. Go to plug everything you got going on, my friend.
Yeah, man. I mean, just keep up with the brand, man. Just follow me on socials at Joey Franchise. I'm on radio here out in Tampa. Wild 94.1. You can listen on the app if you're not in Tampa. So that's always cool. So yeah, tap in with me. I'm on the morning show, DJing on the morning show. There I do the middays. So yeah, come tap in with your boy, and also right here on Franchise on Film. If you don't have the blue bubble, it's Franchise with a Z, not an S. Franchise on Film, where I talk more about stuff like this, and I carry clips from this show, and I throw them on here.
Excellent. Of course, you can follow me at DJ Speedy JR, all the socials, if you're interested in my DJ stuff. If you want to be notified every time we go live with the show, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to the audio podcast, we really appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support. If you're watching the replay of this, wherever you're watching this at, and you want to catch the live show, go ahead and give us a subscribe to the YouTube channel, Speedy's Multiverse. Speedy's Multiverse, okay? And subscribe there, and every time we go live, you get that notification, and YouTube's really cool for that. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for hanging out with us here on the live show. Of course, if you are so inclined to rather listen to us on an audio version of the podcast, by all means, find the Geek Culture Congress Podcast wherever great podcasts are listened to. We're on all of it. And if you're listening to us on podcast radio, thank you so much for hanging out with us, okay? Have a good one, everybody. Be safe. And we'll see you on the up and up. I don't know what we're talking about next week, but we're talking about something.
Hopefully, Gen V.
Huh? Gen V, hopefully. There you
Gen
go.
V.
That's the homework. That's the homework, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Have a good one, everybody. Be safe. Have a great rest of your week. Peace. Go see the Marvels if you haven't. Gosh.
Yeah, go see it. Support.
Yeah. Peace.